Welcome back, everybody. My name is Dragagon, and this is Gregtech New Horizons. And just after the last video, I went ahead and I created more steel so that I could grab two stacks of steel to get that 4 times steel quest completed. Oh, that was a lot of work, a lot of waiting around, an unexpected bonus. If you happen to compress charcoal, not only does it allow you to process more than 16 steel at a time, it also yields 10 times the burn time of a piece of charcoal. A quintuple one. That is a lot of burn time. How do I make this? It won't even let me click it to... Oh, you know what? I need to do this first. Haven't even opened up to let NEI finish loading. There we go. Now I should be able to check it out. Let's see. Block of quintuple compressed charcoal, which is, of course, quadruple compressed charcoal, which is, of course, triple compressed, which is double compressed, which is compressed, which is, 9 charcoal. Man, okay. So, what does this let us do? 10 times the burn time of a piece of charcoal. Oh, not in the bricked blast furnace. Interesting. All right, well, that might be something to work towards once I get a little further into my steel and that kind of stuff. So I waited on completing basically any of the other quests simply because they needed steel, and I really wanted to get that 2 stacks of steel done first before I was going to do anything else. As far as this is concerned, I'm going to go ahead and keep collecting steel. I have a gigantic set of rubber trees out here that I can come out and collect I can collect the materials I need in order to make the rubber, even if I have to go with the vulcanized rubber of 1 sulfur to 3 raw rubber. But in the meantime, I can get some of this started, compress down the charcoal, collect any other charcoal that I've got here, and start putting stuff away. Get that put away and get that put away. All right, so because I have all of that done, I can now focus on getting a couple of these other things done. Most notably, I really want to knock out the lumber log so that I can hit those redwood trees. So I'm going to need 8. I'm going to need 16, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. 22 total should get us where we need to be in terms of our smeltery here. I've got 1 bit of alumite that I did smelt up earlier so that I could slap this in, and make an alumite pickhead. There we go. And that way I can put that, because this, I believe, yeah, it's obsidian, and that one is boosted to obsidian. So if I go ahead and put this in the tool forge, it should start at obsidian, and then when I reach the next mining tool level, that will boost up to, I believe it's redstone is the next level up. All right, so that's where I got the last of that steel, and then I've got those 2 processing down now. All right, fantastic. Up next, wait for this steel. It already smelted, good. So I need a plate, a broad axe head, a tough cast, and a tough binding. So I'll start off with the plate. Next we'll go with the axe head. There we go, there's the axe head. Get the tough tool rod ready. Put that one away, and then this last one of the tough binding. There we go. that should get us that one. And then I believe it wants us to actually make it. So unfortunately, it won't get us credit for these guys making the excavator head because it wants us to make that one as well. And then same thing with the hammer. The hammer is nice for grinding out all of that, all of the materials down in the mines. But right now I'm trying to conserve my steel because while I can do this and then go chop down the trees, I also want to have enough steel left to break into some of the rest of this stuff. So I'm going to also go ahead, I've already got 2 of these, so I need 1, 2, 3, so that's going to be another 12. Let's set that up. There we go, there's 12 of that. And I can go ahead and smelt these down. And then I can grab those 2 and then also grab those 3. And I'm back. I accidentally crafted my molds while I was not recording, so those are already done. I went ahead and I made the 8 steel that I need, along with my wrench, which I don't have. So come over here, grab my, not that wrench, that wrench. And we'll wrench together the LV machine casing. And then it wants me to make an LV machine hull, which is going to take 2 wrought iron, 2 rubber tin cables, and a steel plate plus that. So I won't be able to complete that quest until I get my nether quest done. Now, fortunately, I have decided to come down here, and my nether portal is here right now. I want to build up a little bit here, just so that pigmen have to stay down here and not running around in the rest of my base. So I'm going to end up doing that here shortly. And then what I will need is I will need my ore finder wand. I'm going to go ahead and put away my molds since I did complete that quest. Put away the LV machine casing, so that's all good. What I want to do with the ore finder wand is there are a few ores that we already have here that if we take them with us will help us more easily find a few things. In the nether, one of the big things we need to find is the sulfur deposit. And the other one is tetrahedrite. For the tetrahedrite, all you need is this copper ore right here. So if you put that into your ore finder, you will be able to find tetrahedrite. The other one being the sulfur. And for the sulfur, let me think, what was it for the sulfur that you need? I've got it written down, so I will probably have to cut away, figure out which one it is that I need in order to find the sulfur deposit. If I'm not mistaken, it is this one right here, pyrite. The pyrite is in with the sulfur, and so you can use the pyrite plus the ore finder to find the sulfur, the copper ore plus the ore finder in order to find the tetrahedrite, and that will get you the 2 main ores that you'll want to be collecting in the nether. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish building up down there and get my nether portal open in order to complete that quest, and then begin the trek of looking for my sulfur and tetrahedrite, and so I will join you once I have those found. Oh, there we go. You guys see that and hear that? Excellent. That means that I have found pyrite ore. And that means that what I am coming up to... I need to be careful because there is this gigantic pool of lava here that I'm skirting the edge of. But that means that the center of this chunk right here, right, because I'm in 4, -4, 2, and the center will be in the other one right there. That's a small sulfur ore, and while I can make use of that, that's not what I'm here for. Going just a little bit more north. Oh, too far north. Right here. Let's go ahead and dig down just a little bit. Because it goes anywhere from 5 to 20. There it is, right there, sulfur ore. Not the small sulfur ore, the sulfur ore. So we're looking all the way at 11, so 7 deep at 11 there. This will be great. Oh. And there's 32. So I'll go ahead and pull this out, that one, and that one. There we go. Excellent. So we finally completed those quests. Next we do have the tetrahedrite stibnite quest. So going all the way up to between 80 and 120, we can use copper ore in order to find tetrahedrite and stibnite ore. Tetrahedrite being a very nice source of copper, and with a little bit of help from the electric blast furnace, we can also get quite a bit of antimony out of it without even having to centrifuge it. If you pulverize tetrahedrite ore and then hammer it down and then purify it so that it's the purified dust, and you throw it through 2 at a time in the blast furnaces, you can actually get 3 copper plus the tetrahedrite. So if we go with the right click on that, you can see that we get crushed tetrahedrite ore, hammer it to the impure, and then if you you can either centrifuge it or simple dust washer, basically drop it in a cauldron, get your tetrahedrite dust. If we go over to the primitive blast furnace, you can see that 2 dust plus coal or 2 charcoal and whatnot will get you 3 copper ingots and then 9 antimony ingots. So while you do have to stick it in the alloy smelter with an ingot cast and cast it to actual ingots, or I believe you can also compress it. No, you can't compress the ingots, or I mean the nuggets, but they can be done in the alloy smelter to get them back into, there we go, ingots for the batteries and stuff that we'll be using later on. They can also be used to make soldering alloy, so that's very nice. So anyway, yeah, I've got all of my sulfur, so now I'm going to go out on the hunt for that tetrahedrite ore, and so I'll see you in a bit. Like this. Fantastic. Alright, sorry. That noise is getting annoying. Let's see here. First, let's get that turned off. Whew, there we go. was just a little bit scary for me. Alright. So... let's see if we can figure out where this spot is. And in the meantime, I need to light up these areas where these guys can spawn. Or at least limit where they can spawn. Let's do that. There. That limits where they can spawn in this room. And I'm going to work my way down. Alright, once I'm in about the middle of the chunk, which is right about here, I want to say there's the little thing. Alright, let's do this very carefully now. What is that? Small nether quartz ore. That's not what we're looking for. This, however, is stibnite right there. So there's one. 2. 3. Right? No. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. And 4. I'm being very careful to not accidentally find a nice pool of lava when there's not much room. There we go. 1, 2. 1, 2. See, there's the copper ore that sits in with the tetrahedrite and the stibnite. Good stuff. To the rubber bars themselves, which I believe is putting that and that in the furnace together, or sorry, the alloy smelter together. Get those going. I'm making up another batch of alumite so that I can repair my pickaxe if I need to. And it looks like my steel is done, so I'm going to need to get on getting some more materials to get more steel. And the reason for that is simply because I don't have enough. I've only got 197. That steel will only last me so long. There we go, getting those closer to being done. Fantastic. Alright, down to the last 2 bits of aluminum. 3 things of ashes. I guess I don't need that anymore. Nether rack. I did go ahead and, if you notice on the hover over of the ore finding wand, I put in quartzite ore so that as I'm running around, hopefully I can find some quartzite. The batch of stuff I did find was nether rack, not quartzite. And so I still don't have the Certus quartz, which is found in the quartzite ore. So if I run around with that, hopefully I will find some quartzite ore, which will lead me to the Certus quartz, as we will be needing that once we reach the steam age. There's a couple of quests that involve needing those. Alright, looks like we are done. There's all my aluminum. And I am working on those rubber bars still. Slow process. Alright, 4, 4, and 10. There we are. 18 more. I'm going to take 3 of those, put 2 of them into here, there we go, like that. Now I've got some alamite so that I can make sure that I've got enough in my pickaxe. And it's slowly repairing itself up anyway, so that's good. Alright, back down into the nether to complete out this tetrahedrite quest. Alright, so the rubber quest finally completed. I was able to get all 40 pieces of my rubber. I still haven't quite gotten the tetrahedrite stibnite copper quest done yet. That's a little lower on my priority list. I was really trying to get this path done so that I can get over here, finish up the basic casings, and unlock the tier 2 steam before I call this video quits. So let's try and finish this up. I need wired weird, which are right now plates cut with the wire cutters. I'm going to need 3 red alloy wire, I'm going to need 7 tin wire and 24 copper wire, and then 8 fine copper wire, which are the copper foil, which are hammered plates. So that's going to take just a little bit while I get that done. And it seems night has come, so let's go ahead and sleep off the night. And it's raining, of course, so that makes it extra nice and loud. At least it wasn't a blood moon while it was raining, because then I would have had to stay up all night. There we go. Wired Weird. So that was the Wired Weird quest. Or part of it. We still need the 24 copper wire, and then that will knock out this quest. So hopefully this will build up some more steam a little more quickly here. May have to step away for a bit. There we go. Excellent. Now we can let that build up more steam while we wrap up the rest of this crafting. There we go. Wired Weird done. So now it wants us to make the basic motors, the diodes, right? Diodes are what these are called. Vacuum tubes, sorry. And the resistors. So I'm going to need 4 sticky resin, 2 coal dust. So 2 coal dust, which I will need to macerate real quick. Put those back in there. Let's clean out some of my inventory. Put away the birch, put away the saplings, put away the potatoes. I've got enough food for my hunger bar currently. Put away the wrench for now. Alright, I'm going to need 2 sticky resin. Just 2? Nope, 4. 4 sticky resin. So I've got that. Once I have the copper, this one, I need 4 steel rods and 2 alloy bolts. So that's going to be that for the bolts, that for the steel rods. I already have the copper, that. And then the glass tubes. Now the glass tubes, that's an interesting thing for us. We need glass dust plus the ball mold in order to make those glass tubes. So they had us make the ball mold earlier, and I just happened to have gotten mine from the underground dungeon, which was nice. Take one piece of that, grab some sand. Ooh, I don't want to use that sand though. I want to use the I want to use the hardened sand. I don't know if I have any more of the hardened sand. I should take a look for that. But otherwise, I can use the regular sand. Picked up 4 of that. That will macerate down, and then I can make those glass tubes. In the meantime, I need my file. And we'll get those smelted up real quick. In the meantime, I can grab my 2 coal dust for the resistor quest. Get those there. 2 resistors, so that's all done. 2 bolts, 4 of those across there, those across there. Oh, and I do want to be careful. I don't actually want to put those there because I need it to register when this second one finishes here. There we go. Time for some logic. There's my vacuum tubes. So 2 of those, 4 of those, 2 of those, 4 of those, and there are the 2 vacuum tubes. Then it wants a wood plank plus 2 sticky resin. Whew, so much crafting. 2 iron rods plus that 8 will get us the 2 magnetic iron rods, and then we can use that to make the motor. So 4 more of those. 2 of those. There we go, 2 motors. That, oops, let's just make sure it registers. There we go. Whew. Grab those 2. Make the coated board. And then we take the coated board. Oh. That's odd. We should have had 8 copper wire. Let's grab 3 of those. Make 1 more set of copper wire. Or I mean plates that I can cut for copper wire. There we go. Now that that's done, I can just make the circuit board. Wrap that. There we go. Circuit board is done. And that will get us our first electronic circuit, which is the circuit board, the pair of resistors, the pair of those, 3 red alloy cables, and then this right here is a steel casing. The easiest way to make the steel casings is to actually grab the casing mold and grab 2 of the steel, and in the alloy smelter, smelt those out to casings like that. 2 of those will make 3 casings instead of the long way around, which, let's see here, it would take 3 steel to make 2 plates, and then I believe the 2 plates can be hammered out into a steel casing each. And so that just saves you on materials. Oops, I have those over here, don't I? So here we go, steel casing. There's our electronic circuit. Completes that quest. Now we can make the LV machine hull. So our LV machine hull is 2 of those cables. Now hopefully that will build up while we're doing this. Steel plate, LV machine hull, and then rotors. Okay. Gets me a second rotor. And then last but not least is the Basic Steam Turbine. So here we go. LV, 2 of those guys, 2 rotors, the wire, the circuit, and then 2 of those bronze pipes. And it wants the larger ones that I only have 1 of. So I am going to actually just snag one from my current setup so I don't have to craft another one right this second. There we go. Cannibalizing at its finest. And there is our steam turbine, which finally unlocks our steam turbine. Tier 2 for our low voltage tier. And that unlocks a ton of quests that we will start working on in the next video.